Hey there, my name is Cindel and I'm a Beachbody coach, and I'm here to talk to you about the keto diet and our products. So I want to give you a quick little background on my story. So I am a speech pathologist and I'm also a severe sufferer of irritable bowel syndrome. And I tried numerous diets, different medications to control that. And it wasn't until I went to a continuing education class on nutrition strategies for the brain and heart for my job as a speech pathologist that I learned about this amazing thing called the keto diet. And I was a super skeptic. I'm a huge gym rat, and so I'm always like preaching, yeah, more carbs, the better. Like, it's how you build your muscles. Well, we all know that that's not true, right? So I adopted the keto diet a year and a half ago. Oh, I'm sorry, 2.5 years ago. And I started Beachbody a year and a half ago. And I was also a super skeptic about starting Shakeology because as we're kind of like trained to look at the carbs, I was really taken aback. I was like, ooh, like that's like 13 net carbs. The flavors are all different. I wanted the chocolate. And I was like, that's like my whole day's worth of carbs in one shake. So I started to kind of dive deeper, looked in the ingredient list, and I noticed that all of the carbs were coming from whole, real food sources. So it wasn't like the creators of Shakeology were taking like cups of rice and like throwing it into the shake, and that's where they were getting these carbs from. These carbs were coming from fruits and vegetables and oat protein and kind of the more the least inflammatory foods and the foods that are the highest in the nutrients and vitamins that our body needs. So I decided I was going to take a chance. I was going to try it out because I had read all these stories about how Shakeology has helped so many people cure their IBS. And I will say that when I started drinking Shakeology, I was hesitant. So I started with half of a scoop and I worked my way up to a full scoop. Now I will say, disclaimer, that when I started drinking it, I was really bloated, kind of had like some indigestion feelings, and I think it was just the extra influx of fiber and the pre and probiotics. But after about a week, I leveled out and I've been drinking it every single day ever since. Okay, so that's Shakeology. My biggest advice is to drink it in the morning and don't add a lot of things to it. Add some spinach, add some almond milk, add some ice, add your shake or add your powder, blend it up and call it a day. Don't add extra fruit, don't add oats, don't add anything extra really to increase the carb. And the reason I drink it early in the morning is because science has shown that if you are going to eat carbs, it's the best time is in the morning because your body needs to utilize that energy for the day. So that makes sense. Now I really quickly want to talk about our performance line. So I was the slowest turtle in getting on the performance line train because again, I was scared of that carb content, but I took a leap of faith and I tried it, and I will say that Energize, A, is life, but B does nothing to me. TMI, it kind of makes you go to the bathroom, but I don't think that's the carbs. I think that's, the caffeine, but that's not a bad thing. Am I right? And then the Recover is it's actually really light on the stomach, which I was not expecting given that it's a whey protein. But I just drink that 30 minutes after my workout and I'm fine. And I don't have any bad reactions to those carbohydrates. The research has shown that organic cane sugar, which is what we use to sweeten all of our stuff, does not increase your insulin, doesn't affect you at all in terms of your insulin dependence and all that stuff, which is a really cool thing to think about if you're doing the keto diet for nutrition purposes. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about Beachbody meal plans and the keto diet. So this has been more of a challenge. I try to follow the meal plans, I try to follow the container counts, but I do not add my carbs in. So what I do is I take 2 of the carb containers, which are the yellow ones. I take 2 of them and I replace that with either a blue, which is a healthy fat, like a avocado or olives or cheese, things like that, or I'll replace it with a tablespoon of fat. So like olive oil, coconut oil, dressing, things like that. So that's how I modify my meal plans. I still stay pretty much in the calorie count because if you guys know, fat is 9 calories per gram, whereas a carb is 4 calories per gram. So if you're kind of directly replacing 2 carbs with 1 fat, the calorie content is kind of being transferred pretty equally. And if you're using fat as your primary source of energy, which that's what a keto diet is, that would be the way to do it. So I am happy to answer any questions that you have. Whoever sends you this video, they can absolutely send you my name. You can message me on Facebook. I love talking about this. It's one of my most passionate things in my life, just because of how much the keto diet and Shakeology has transformed my life. I don't know if anyone else out there is a sufferer of IBS, but it's debilitating and it's hard to know when an attack's gonna hit. It's so random, a food that I eat over and over and over, I might have again, and all of a sudden it's nope, my body's not tolerating it. So the keto diet has been a lifesaver, but I will say Shakeology has also been a lifesaver, given everything that's in there. One last point I wanted to make is that when we do the keto diet, a lot of times we are still deficient in a lot of vitamins and nutrients, and a lot of electrolytes. So the main ones that come to mind are potassium, magnesium, and sodium. And those things are all in our performance lines, which is why I take it now, because I know that my body needs that, considering I'm not getting it from a carbohydrate source. But also think about if you follow the keto diet and you're not eating a whole lot of vegetables, a lot of people who follow the keto diet only do some vegetables. They don't do fruit, they only do certain meat, they only do certain fat. You're gonna miss this huge line of vitamins and nutrients, which is why I incorporate Shakeology into my daily life, because it kind of bridges the gap of the missing link in my nutrition from cutting out certain food groups. So that's another thing to think about. Okay, think I'm done. If you need me, you know where to reach me. See you guys later.